This is Steve Robbins with the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. Today's topic comes in from the voicemail line.
Hi, Steve. I love your podcast. It's been a great help so far, but I have a question. I work for an elected official, and politeness and public image are always very important. So when I send an email, I can't just launch into my question or provide the answer. I have to do a little bit of that polite chit-chat at the beginning and the end of the email. But I send so many emails that I end up spending a lot of time on that, and I think it's wasteful time, but yet it's necessary. Do you have any suggestions on how I could cut back the amount of time that I spend on those things, or what is the appropriate amount of politeness at the beginning of an email? Thanks very much. Looking forward to hearing your answer.
Great question. I feel your pain. Polite chit-chat takes a lot of typing. Signatures take a lot of typing. And answering the same question over and over and over takes a lot of typing. Fortunately, there are several most excellent solutions to your email woes. The quick and dirty tip is to use stationery, macros, and signatures to make email quick and easy to type. We'll also provide step-by-step instructions on the website. Stationery. Stationery is a completely pre-written email that can be called up all at once. It's sometimes called a template, and I'll use the terms interchangeably in this podcast. Use stationery if you get the same question over and over and over. Just set up stationery with the answer. Next time someone writes in with that question, call up the template, change a few words to fit their situation, and send it off. You work for a politician. You could prepare stationery with standard replies for common issues. You might have a template that addresses the mayor's position on traffic lights for children. Or you could have separate stationery for each position on the issue. One reply to people who want traffic lights, and a different reply for people who like watching young children run across the street dodging cars. Stationery isn't a substitute for a personal message. It's a starting point. And always make sure you send the right starting point. If someone writes in about free speech and you respond with stationery discussing commercial zoning, that's not good. They'll be livid and you'll look like you didn't even read their letter. It's a great way to lose votes. If your concern is the polite chit-chat at the start and end of messages, you could set up stationery with all the polite chit-chat in place. Then you type your answer into the middle of the letter. Or you could use macros. A macro is a keystroke or keystrokes that turn into something longer when you type them. Let's say your boss has you saying no to a dozen different requests each day. A dog show invitation, a request for money, and someone claiming to be a long-lost child asking to be added to the will. These are pretty different. You want to respond to each individually, but your responses can have paragraphs in common. All might start like this. Mr. Boss appreciates your letter. Your tragic plight is touching. Then you add a paragraph or two, crushing that person's lifelong hopes and dreams, and you finish up with, Mr. Boss regrets that he can't do more for your deeply troubling situation. What you could do is define a macro, so you type opening, and it turns into Big Boss's statement of appreciation. You define another macro, so you type wrap up, and it turns into the paragraph on regrets. Then, to type the full letter, you just type opening, the custom paragraphs, and wrap up. And voila, there it is. I use a macro, so I just type GIDG, and it turns into the Get It Done Guys quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. That way I can mention my show by its full name and save my fingers for more important things, like picking the pretzels out of snack mix. Yes, I am that guy. Signatures. Signatures are just what they sound like. Sincerely, Senator Does-a-lot. You set a signature in your email program and it gets added to every outgoing message. You'll never have to type the word sincerely again. And depending upon your boss, this could also save your integrity. The specifics for setting up stationery, macros, and signatures depend on what computer and email program you use. So search your help file for the words stationery, templates, macros, and signatures to find the details. I've prepared a handout with step-by-step instructions for some common email programs that you can download from a link in this episode's transcript. So if you want to write less and say more, use stationery, macros, and signatures to minimize your typing and maximize your impact. So get right on over to the Get It Done Guy section of quickanddirtytips.com, download the handout, and learn how to make your email program your productivity slave. You can find a transcript of this episode at the website, along with a link to the handout telling you how to set up stationary macros and signatures in several different email programs. Work less, do more, and have a great life.